So you're working away on an image, and you're pretty much getting what you want. Except one thing, the hands look like this. And you don't want the hands to look like that, you want the hands to look actually good. So how can we begin to fix that? Well, here's a hand I drew earlier. Very simple. You know, essentially just a gloved hand. And all I did was iterate. This is once again 512. I just iterated. Sorry for that. And you can just pick out the ones you like. It does eventually give you the right number of digits in the right position. So iteration and paint back in is definitely an option. I could do that on this character. However, there's also more options than just that. You can obviously paint, which I'd suggest you use a lot of reference and you go into a little bit of study, I'd say. Bjorn Hogarth's book on drawing dynamic hands, that's a great resource, especially if you're more a technical artist that really likes breakdowns and measurements, understanding of shape and form. But a rather standard practice within the concept industry is to just take pictures of your hand. Take pictures of your hand holding a similar object. Doesn't have to be a battle axe. I know not everyone has battle axes, but it can be anything from a broom, just get the broom handle, to a hammer. Hammer would work surprisingly well, just as long as it has some sort of weight within your hand that you can grip around the shaft, and try and match the position and pose of the character. So if it's slightly sideways, try and match that. Or is he showing his backhand? And essentially what you'll want to do is you want to take your reference and just work it to where you match the image and then paint in. So just a uniform scale down. I think this one is probably the most accurate. It's not going to match the forearm, but we're only going up to the wrist, so that's the problem area. And we would simply draw it in. Now the consideration to have as you're drawing / tracing it in is that you have to understand the lighting will differ. Now if you can match the lighting, all the better. If you can get like this lighting's coming from this direction downwards, you can tell that. Oh, that's god awful for that. Let's use my actual pen on the tablet. So the lighting is coming down from this direction here, and it's a white light, not a yellow, but it's hitting his forehead. You can see here his shoulder here. You're getting some light hit across here, a little bit of light there. So sorry, I actually got caught up in something and I forgot to hit record when I started resuming. So this is about where we left it, was here, I believe. So all I did, I'll run you through it. Up to this point is soft erased on the wrong layer, soft erased up to the hand, around the hand. I'm gonna do this as quick as possible so we can get back to where it was. Soft erase, soft erase. You want to take more time, go neatly. I definitely recommend that. remove, etc. And then I color matched in. So just go for a mid-tone. Did some multiplying. So that's keep meaning to hit the layer. Layer, apply. And we darkened it out where it needs to be darkened, which is pretty much everywhere. I think but the tips. Going quick, I missed the color on a few places there. And then come back, and I just sampled, some of the light, worked in some light to mimic the lighting direction. So I basically did that. No. And then I drew in the weapon. So that's about it. If there's any color variation, that's just where I've gone through and I've like sampled colors. Just painted them in. Some airbrush. Bit by bit. So yeah, that's just generally it. It's painting it in till you've essentially painted over all of it. And you got an end result you're starting to be happy with. So that's initially how you can get hands. I could do the same with the other one. Improve the weapon. Different ways to do that. I mean, you've got basic weapon drawn out. It can be far cruder than this. Once you upscale it, which again, cup scale, great way to upscale. Just Google cup scale. You can get about a 512 box, iterate the heads of the axe, blend them in. And you can also iterate the hands if you like. I mean, I personally wouldn't, but And if you're painting in weapons, just look at reference, look for details you find interesting, use real world examples. Try and take more pictures, possibly of yourself in the same kind of pose. You'll capture a lot on the anatomy and direction, even if your build, and I very much doubt anyone's build is going to match this fellow's, but yeah, it's a good thing to do. It's fast approaching 3 AM for me. I just returned this and finished it up. The major things I've done is I iterated the hand, like I explained in the beginning, just going through, snipping it out after upscaling it. I redid the lighting with clip drop. That's mostly painted the handle, but I iterated the axe head. I did another square for the axe head. Iterated with that, got a nice kind of ornate detail. I like that. Iterated the face, because I like face detail, obviously. And then blended it all together, and I used some filters, just to give it kind of a sketch look I was going for. So they're really subtle at this point. I've already added quite a few in, but yeah, so that's pretty much the final of the image. I mean, I could do more. I really could define these out better. I did paint in a bit more of this one, but once I was mostly happy with it, it was just about getting some light in, defining out the different digits, making sure they're all correct. I think that'll be about it. So I hope that helped a little. Hope you get some ideas to fix up your hands a little better. So all the techniques are valid. Just, whether you're painting in with reference, you're iterating, or you're using kind of like a self-photograph photo bash. Just make sure you get your lighting correct. That's the most important thing, and you should do well. Have a good one.